Welcome to the build-up from RamsTV. This is the show that gives you everything you need to know before the big game kicks off. That big game is here at Pride Park Stadium. Derby County hosting Bristol City and hoping it's not a happy return for a couple of former Rams favourites. It's only 4 months since Max Bird scored the goal that clinched Derby's promotion back to the Championship. He joined the Rams as a 10-year-old and made exactly 200 appearances for the club. He'll face Derby today for the first time since leaving for Bristol City after finishing last season back on loan with the Rams. And so will his old academy running mate, Jason Knight. He left for Bristol City last summer and was appointed captain at Ashton Gate just a few weeks ago. Today will also mark his first game against his former club. Bristol City, one of 9 clubs who come into the weekend unbeaten through their opening 3 league games. A wild 4-3 win over Millwall, sandwiched by 1-1 draws with Hull and Coventry. Coach Liam Manning hoping to end their 10-year stay in the Championship with promotion. Derby have lost 2 of their opening 3 league games to start the Championship campaign, but that win came here at Pride Park against Middlesbrough a fortnight ago. The Rams could be boosted by the return of Erin Cashin from concussion today, and there are no less than 3 players in line to make their home debuts. Jakob Vidal-Zetterstrom, Tawanda Chilewa and Jerry Yates all ready to make their Pride Park bows. And there will be a couple more new faces in the building this afternoon, or not involved in the matchday squad, unfortunately. Nat Phillips and Marcus Harness both arrived on loan last night. Yeah, 27-year-old Phillips arrived first. He spent the second half of last season on loan at Cardiff and helped them to a respectable mid-table finish. The defender is 6'3", had previous Championship spell with Bournemouth and has Champions League experience too. Harness came in a couple of hours later with his best friend. The forward is coming off the back of 2 consecutive promotions with Ipswich Town and came off the bench in their opening 2 Premier League games to go with it. And let's hear from the new boys.
Just excitement, really. Obviously, I've spent a bit of time here now, meeting all the staff, and everyone seems really friendly. Obviously, the facilities are top level. I'm looking forward to seeing the stadium as well, having a little walk around there. But yeah, like I say, mostly I'm just looking forward to getting going.
I know you're no stranger to the Championship. I know how good you were for Cardiff last season, so you know what you're letting yourself in for this season, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, I've had 2 separate stints in the Championship, but both 6 or half season spells. So it's nice to come here on a longer term basis with the full season ahead of me. And yeah, like you say, I've played a number of games in the league now, so I know sort of the challenges it can bring and what to expect, and I'm looking forward to that.
And I know this has happened a little bit late for you to be involved on Saturday, but how much are you looking forward to seeing Pride Park for the first time? Yeah,
really excited. I've heard great things about the home support. I've never been to a game where the home support's been there before, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. And yeah, just looking forward to getting involved and contributing.
Welcome to Derby.
Thank you very much.
Marcus, you've arrived just in time. How does it feel to join Derby tonight?
It's amazing. It's been a tough day, waiting to see what's going to happen, but I'm buzzing to be here. Can't wait to get started and be there tomorrow to support the lads in the first game. I'm
going to mention it at the top. There is someone else in the room.
Kaiser! Oi, come here. Hey.
The fact that Kaiser is with you, does this sort of illustrate how manic today has been for you, the deadline?
Yeah, it does actually. So my partner's going out with her friends tomorrow night, so I was going to take him to my mum's on the way up in Coventry, but just being so last minute, I couldn't really afford to waste the extra half an hour or whatever it would have took. So yeah, he's had to come with me.
Yeah, all part of the excitement. And you mentioned there, this is not quite homecoming, but sort of back in the area for you. I remember you coming through at Burton and you had a spell at Ilkeston as well. Is it going to be nice to be closer to home for the year at least?
Yeah, it is. Obviously, coming through, I spent a lot of time in Burton. Didn't live in Burton, I live with my mum still, but spent a lot of time in this kind of area. And obviously played against Derby a lot. Derby were always the the big brother down the road almost. Oh, maybe some people wouldn't say it like that, but it felt like that coming through the youth team. So yeah, it's crazy. It's exciting, and obviously I know a lot about the club from being in touch and distance for a long time. So yeah, really excited to be a part of Derby County.
And Nat Phillips and Marcus Harness and Kaiser there. And we'll get Paul Warne's assessment of deadline day and the transfer window as a whole after today's game. Let's turn our attention back to the action this afternoon. Derby County against Bristol City here at Pride Park Stadium. It's the Rams' final game before the international break. Maybe a chance to take stock.
Yeah, I'd like to come across as the bloke who looks at it evenly over the course of the games, but obviously you always feel it in the first hour after the game. So if we're successful and we win, I think we've got to give a good account of ourselves, but we need to get better in loads of different avenues, obviously, different positions. And it always takes a bit of settling in with new players, as it does for every team. There's some really crazy results in the first 6 weeks of the season, really. So, but if I lose, or if the team loses, or plays poorly and draws, obviously I'll leave the stadium like everybody else, a little bit disappointed. 4 points from 4 league games. Is that right? 4 league games? 5 league games? 4 league games, isn't it? I'm good at maths, aren't I? Is not a big enough return, really. However, the performances have been quite good, so you can't get too hung up on you will as the season progresses, but it's about performances, and I think we've been in all the games, which we're trying to do, and so if we were to come out of the home game 2 wins, it'd be great. Like, we're trying to average 2 points a game at home, which is no mean feat, by the way. So it would set us off well.
Injury issues have maybe crept up a little bit over the last week or two. Any major updates on anyone at all?
Kenzo and Tomo are struggling a little bit with their calves. Cash is fully training, so he'll be up to getting reselected into the squad. Who else is there? Ozzy, the game still might be a bit too close for him. It could be a risk we could take, although logically we probably won't. So I'm just letting Bristol City know, because that's the benefit of press. You just tell the opposition everything. And everybody else are in the best shape of their lives. So I don't think there's any other issues.
You had a new signing make his debut on Tuesday night, Tawanda Chilewa. How useful was it to be able to give him 45 minutes in that game ahead of maybe chucking him in a championship game?
Yeah, good, I think. It would have been better if the experience would have been a lot more positive, obviously. Unless on me, we'd come out the cup, it's my fault. I picked the team. I have to make picks for that game, but also thinking about the next game. And obviously I know we're not going to win the League Cup. That doesn't mean we're not going to try and be as strong as we can. And I picked a team that I thought would have been strong enough to win, but unfortunately it wasn't, against a good Barrow team. So anyway, so I thought for a game, I played him out of position. I just needed him to be in the dressing room, and I also needed him to know the importance of first team football, which everything is important. So if you kick the ball away and you get booked early in the game, you got to struggle to stay on for 90 minutes. It's all part of the learning curve. So I think it would do him good. And, obviously he'd only been in the building for 24 hours virtually. So it was a quick, come on, let's get on with it. And that is how elite sport is. So I think it would do him good to get some minutes on him under his belt, and so the lads can know what he can do. And then we're easy today, for example, we'll be sitting with him with his clips, critiquing every single thing he done. So there's an opportunity when he's in the box that he could have just got on and shot. But to keep the game alive, he kindly crossed it. So there's things we can help him with, obviously, and we'll enjoy working with him.
The atmosphere against Middlesbrough a fortnight ago was fantastic. You're going to need the sort of application and energy and performance level from everyone again. Yeah,
and we are for every single game, and that's no different if we were the best team in the league or the worst team in the league or somewhere in between. You always need the team to, we coach them and prepare them as well as we can. So there's not our responsibility done when they cross the line. I don't mean it like that, but then the lads have to perform at a level, or try and perform at a level. It's not every 11 players play out of 10 every week. I understand that. They have a level of responsibility. The fans have not a level of responsibility, but we want to put a performance on that they enjoy. The more they enjoy, the more noise they make, the more it helps the players. It's a win-win. So, look, everyone's in sport and in football, and probably even more so at the moment. Life's tough for a lot of people. Football's not the one shining light. I don't mean it's depressing as that, but it is entertainment. It is theatre. People want to be entertained. They want to see their team have loads of shots. They want to see tackles. They want to see goals. They want to see entertainment, and that's our job to do it. It's a very tough league full of very good teams, but every game that we put on, we should be competitive in, and that's what we'll do again Saturday. And that's why, hopefully, the fans can enjoy it and go home, enjoy the international break, go and watch a local team, a non-league team while we're not playing, and then get ready for the next little portion of games.
That's Derby boss Paul Warne. As for his opponent today, Liam Manning, he laid the foundations for Oxford's promotion from League One last season. He left them to join Bristol City back in November. And after another good summer, there is plenty of optimism around Ashton Gate. They've started the season well too, unbeaten through 3 games.
Yeah, I would like more points, obviously, I think, in terms of performances, but that's the biggest bit. We have to be clear in terms of, we continue to perform like we did at the weekend. We'll win more games than we draw or lose. So again, I think when I look at the progress from back end of last season to how the lads have done in the first 3 games, there's some terrific stuff. So, I think even at the weekend, if you look at it, the possession, but also the purpose to it, I thought was excellent. We got into some really good areas. We created some really good opportunities. The press, I think, is in a better spot than where we finished last season. So, yeah, I look at it. I've been really pleased with so many elements. Maybe me want more. I want to push. I want to, to convert those good performances into more victories and more goals and more clean sheets, etc. But it's one of those, I think, stepping back, I'm pleased with how the lads have been performing.
Yeah. And with the clean sheets, I think defensively, largely, you've looked quite good over most of the games, maybe a little bit in the second half against Millwall, not so much. But the fact you haven't got a clean sheet, is that just one of those things from a small sample size, or is that something that is niggling away?
No, it's not a major thing that I'd say that, if we were giving up tons of chances, I'd be a little bit more concerned. But I think in terms of, you look at the weekend, we restricted them to very little, 1 shot on target, which they scored from. So I think for me, of course, that we have to, if you want to be competitive and you want to do well, you have to, you have to get clean sheets. You have to, pride yourselves on defending the goal with everything you can, which, again, I think the lads have done a good job with. So, of course, it's, refining, it's progressing, it's, not settling or accepting anything. It's about, getting better. And we know that, if we want to pick up results, we have to, get more clean sheets.
Midfield is one part of the pitch where things seem to be going really well at the moment. You've got a lot of good options there. Is there such a thing as too many options? You've got like almost a myriad different things you could do. Are you still sort of working through in your own mind how to get the very best out of the personnel you've got?
No, not particularly. I'd say I'm pleased with how the lads have been performing in there. I think if you look at the control we had at the weekend against, a hugely strong side that have invested a large amount of money and had recent success in the league and in the cup, I think when you look at it, I thought we took really good control in central areas. So I've been pleased with how they've been. But you see at the weekend, right? We lose 2 players to injuries, and all of a sudden, people that might feel like they're further away are in, the starting lineup probably this weekend. So I think when you look at it, I'm going to need everybody. The team's going to need everybody, and it's on everybody then to be ready to have impact when called upon.
That's Liam Manning. There are quite a few teams still yet to lose in the Championship, 3 games into the campaign. Sunderland and Watford are the early pace setters. Sunderland go to Portsmouth today. Watford visit Sheffield United tomorrow. There are 7 teams without a win so far. Luton are one of them. They lost at home to Queen's Park Rangers last night. Not a good start for them at all. Derby's record at the moment stands at 1 win, 2 defeats, hoping to change that today. Striker Jerry Yates, who's in line to make his Pride Park debut. He missed the opening 3 games of the season through suspension, but was straight into the side to face Watford last weekend.
No, yeah, I'm delighted.
to be chucked in straight away. It was a bit of a surprise to me, but like I say, you've got to grab them opportunities with both hands. It was a tough game. Obviously, they're a good side. They've won all 3 of the games, so they can't be that bad. I think we could have been a bit braver maybe, but like I say, it's been and gone now, so we'll move on to the next.
Was that opening weekend of the season a bit of an anticlimax for you? Because you put in all the work, you play in pre-season, and then you're watching. It must have been odd.
Oh, it was weird. It was weird. Watching it on TV, I was itching to play and go and help the lads. And then, obviously, well, to be fair, I'm lucky, because if it had been just Saturday, I could have been out for 3 weeks. So, like I say, it's come round quick. And I was like watching the first game of the season, I was itching to help the boys out. But yeah, I'm glad we're back now.
Does it mean that physically you're where you need to be, or are you going to need a bit of time to get that match sharpness up that we hear strikers in particular talk about?
Yeah, of course. I think everything takes time, but I feel in a good place. I feel fit. Like I say, I haven't missed a training session with the lads. I've gone well. He had me doing extras and a lot of runs and stuff like that. So yeah, I feel right where I need to be. Obviously, maybe a bit of match sharpness, but like I say, I feel more than ready.
I was talking to Matt Hamshaw on Monday and talking about how far back you and him in particular go. We've heard his side of the story. Tell us sort of your memories of Hammy from years back.
I'm sure he'll go on and say, I saved your career and all this.
Might be.
Yeah, I obviously got released from Doncaster at age of 14, went on trial at Rotherham, and he was still playing at the time. I'm sure he was at Macclesfield, something like that. And he ended up like helping out with the 15s and 16s. Then he ended up signing me. And yeah, it started from there, and that was my first memory with Matt Hamshaw sort of thing, yeah. Of being under 15 and under 16, yeah, I think it was. Has
he changed much through the years?
No, never changes, confident as ever. But obviously a lot of belief in himself. But yeah, just, like I say, I think he tries to install that in young players. As well, he did around them times as well. And obviously he's like that with the lads now, so yeah.
How much was your history with him and with Paul Warne and the rest of the staff? How much was that a part of your decision to come here this season?
Yeah, of course. Like I say, that was the start of my career with them. They installed the work rate in me, everything, all the little stuff like that. Like I say, I like to think that they bring the best out of me, and they make me work hard, make me cherish every moment, sort of thing. So yeah, so I want to come work with them again.
Looking ahead, you've got one milestone out the way. You'll reach another with your first appearance, hopefully at Pride Park on Saturday. Are you looking forward to it? If selected, are you looking forward to it?
No, yeah, of course. Watching him the last home game against Middlesbrough, it was sensational sort of thing. So the crowd's massive. They always support you, even if you're losing. They always try and spur you on, sort of thing. So yeah, I'm excited to play in front of that sort of crowd again.
And I suppose the final milestone of the set is that first goal for Derby County. Do you get twitchy if you wait too long for your first in a season?
Maybe, but you don't feel it at the time. To me, it's nothing to me. Like that will come. I don't put pressure on anything like that. As long as I work hard, we get the 3 points, then that's it. I can go home happy then.
That's Jerry Yates, and this has been the build-up. It's Derby County against Bristol City this afternoon at Pride Park Stadium. It's available to watch on RamsTV to viewers outside the UK, so get your Game Pass now at dcfc.co.uk. We go live at 2:30. Goodbye.